Hello and welcome to another Planet video from UNM.nu. As tonight I talked to my best friend from kindergarten and he brought up a very interesting topic with me. Apparently the petrodollar has ended after 50 years with Saudi Arabia, and this is a very weird topic I just want to dig into tonight. I didn't do any preparation for this video. I fear this will be a real-time research video as I saw some of the articles he pointed out to me on our phone call, and then he wanted me to do some research and release this video. And I fear this will be helpful for anybody in Bitcoin, crypto, planet, the US dollar. This should affect the world, which makes this very suspicious. Is the articles I found, the YouTube videos I found, they're not from the largest media sources. It's not from Forbes. It's like one of the articles is from Binance, but it's not really officially written by Binance. It's written by random people. So this is one of those things where it may just be speculation, but I at least want to share my research with you, and then you can make your own conclusion by the end of this video. So let me start sharing my screen. Hopefully I have everything set up. It says that I'm sharing sound and everything. So I haven't even watched this video, but I have this on 2x speed, so this should play in 5 minutes and get us started for this video. So without any further ado, let's listen.
Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well today. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was announced that Saudi Arabia joined a CBDC project, mBridge, which is a massive, truly massive experiment that is led by the Bank for International Settlements. Saudi Arabia is moving full steam ahead. It is joining Project mBridge as a full participant after being an observing member. One important feature is mBridge does not support US dollar payments. And while there appear to be many speculations that this move will end the petrodollar as we know it, I'm actually of the opinion that it has very little, if any, connection to the petrodollar, or in other words, to the use of the United States dollar for crude oil settlements between Saudi Arabia and its partners. And I will tell you why in just a minute. But first, let's go over the
I'm going to stop this. This might not be the actual video I wanted to share. Let's try this one. This one's a little bit longer.
If you're a man who makes at least 150 grand a year and you're still embarrassed to take your shirt off at the pool, I will...
Hey, so guys, John here. You see that little house right there, that little structure? I'm in Compton, California. I'm going to show you what's going on here and what's going on in America, because things are about to get absolutely insane with what just happened today. On June 9th, this BRICS / Saudi Arabia / USD deal that just expired. It's a 50-year deal. This could change everything that we know about the dollar, about our purchasing power, about inflation, about the cost of living.
Is there a real threat right now to the US dollar status?
Yes, there is a threat. It's an evolutionary type of process.
Decline in the value of the dollar is necessary. Will be a drag on the global economy.
That house right now, with today's purchasing power, today's dollar, in Compton, 1,500 square feet, 3-bed, 2-bath, $875,000, with 20% down, with $175,000 down. At today's mortgage rates, if you have great credit, you would be able to buy that property with an $8,400 mortgage payment. Every month, pay $8,400 for 30 years. To qualify for a mortgage like that, you have to make about 3 times that income, meaning about $25,200 per month for Compton, or $302,000 per year. Now, obviously, just multiply by 12. That's how much you need to make to live in Compton now. And this isn't just like a one-off deal. There are many properties in that $700,000, $800,000 range in Compton. I'm going to give you a tour in this video of Compton, of the neighborhood. And on top of that, I'm going to share with you what is about to happen with BRICS and what's about to happen with the USD, and honestly, what's about to happen to America. Because we're in some really crazy times. The last 4 years basically reshaped America, and the next 4 or next 5 will reshape our worlds forever. Please hit the like button, people share this content, educate more people about what's really going on. And today's video is sponsored by DeFi technologies, but more on that in just a little bit. Take a look at this store. So this neighborhood is now $800,000. I mean, how crazy is that? When I grew up, I'm sure you did too, you'd watch movies and they talk about Compton, they talk about these areas, and people would say, I wouldn't go to Compton, I wouldn't live there. I mean, I would get hurt if I moved to Compton. A lot of people have that type of belief. And today it's still, it's still not the best neighborhood in the world, but who would expect to pay $800,000 to live in Compton now? Now, what's going on is what's really shocking. So if you look at, and this isn't like a, one president against another, or any type of like political stuff, because I personally believe this stuff has been going on way before this current president, and way before the last president. I think this has been happening for a very, very long time, this big shift away from the dollar, and I think we're walking into the final stages of it. And so this deal, the 50-year deal signed 1974, essentially allowed the US to partner directly with Saudi Arabia and only do oil transactions with dollars. Well, now that deal is over. Now Saudi Arabia could do deals in yen, they could do it in renminbi, they could do it in anything they want, euro. And so if they start to do this and start to move away from the dollar in these deals, and the dollar is presently being weaponized against a variety of other countries, say Russia, you could even say Saudi Arabia, China with these new tariffs, what's going to happen, right? It's going to incentivize other countries to de-risk themselves and separate themselves from America, because either themselves or their trading partners could be at risk with doing business with us. And so we walk into this, and look at they're just doing burnouts all on the street here, only $875,000 for a house in this neighborhood.
Welcome to the future of finance, where innovation meets opportunity. Introducing Valor, a revolutionary product, wholly owned subsidiary of DeFi Technologies, setting new standards in cryptocurrency investments. DeFi Technologies stock ticker DEFTF, currently trading at 94 cents, has seen impressive growth. Analysts predict a target price as low as $3 and as high as $7, suggesting a potential 300% appreciation. But what makes DeFi Technologies and its flagship company, Valor, truly unique? DeFi Technologies operates multiple profit centers. Its crown jewel, the European ETP market, where Valor presently manages around $1 billion in assets, generating 7% in revenue from trading fees and yield on these assets, leading the charge in crypto investment products. Recent developments are paving the way for a crypto revolution. President Biden's administration administration has shifted its stance on crypto, engaging with the industry and proposing changes to crypto tax rules. MasterCard has launched a new crypto credential to enhance transaction security, integrating traditional finance with digital assets. The SEC has approved several Ethereum ETFs, marking a significant step towards mainstream crypto adoption. Even former President Donald Trump has shown interest, asking Bitcoin experts about cryptocurrency and to address the U.S. national debt. And with PayPal's USD stablecoin going live on Solana's blockchain, the future of digital payments looks brighter than ever. Valor's products include BTC 0, ETH 0, ADA, BNB, and XRP, catering to a diverse range of crypto enthusiasts, with a team of industry experts including Anthony Pompliano and the founder of XBT provider now CoinShares. Valor is set to revolutionize the crypto market. Valor is part of DeFi Technologies, which also boosts other innovative business lines like Reflexivity Research and Monobank AG, making it a powerhouse in the crypto industry. With a strong profit machine and a projected 2024 guidance of 80 million USD, DeFi Technologies seems extremely undervalued and ready for a breakout. Imagine the potential as it aims for a NASDAQ listing. Invest in DeFi Technologies today and be part of the crypto revolution. Visit their website below by clicking the link in the description to see why this is the best opportunity of the decade.
When you start to look at this, what we're going to start to see here is a really big shift in potentially our interest rates and borrowing money in America. Now, many people don't realize that over the next 5.5 years from now until 2030, they are going to need to sell $11 trillion in treasuries every single year. And so if they don't sell this volume of treasuries, they're going to have to increase interest rates to be able to lure and attract investors, whether it be foreign or domestic. And so when we have an environment where the U.S. is losing its authority over the dollar, over the petro status of being that reserve currency, I believe what we can start to see here is a situation where interest rates are going to continue to potentially rise, and our cost of living is going to get way more expensive, and our quality of living is going to go down in a very, very, very big way. And this is the big shift. When you have homes in Compton, all these different neighborhoods, all over the world, all over the world trading at different asset prices, right? It's mainly based on a variety of different things. But when you have stuff like this happening here in Los Angeles and in New York and all these big cities, you're starting to see all these basic everyday tract homes listed for $700,000, $900,000. And then you walk into this, what I believe could be a major catalyst in purchasing power for USD. We can see a lot of these property owners think that they're sitting on all this equity. But what they're not realizing is their cost of living, their food cost, everything's going to go up for them as well. Everything's going to go up for the buyer of that property. The interest rates could be going up for the buyer of that property. And so when you have all these things happening, look at this. They just had like a big, looks like a car show here. Looks like they did burnouts after burnouts. Look at this. The entire, this is where we're at in America. It's a lawless city. But you think about this. If you're a small business owner, right? If you're a small business owner and you walk into this inflationary crisis, which we could be walking into right now, what is it going to mean? Well, it's going to mean that a lot of these small businesses are going to go out of business because they're.
I think that's probably enough of the videos. You get the gist of it. It sounds like interest rates, cost of living, inflation, everything will go up if the US dollar is not tied to oil, petrol, Saudi Arabia anymore. So let's read some of these other articles and I'll eventually throw in my own opinions. But here, urgent breaking news. Apparently a lot of sites posted this again on June 9th or June 8th, but what's weird is no huge resource such as like a CNBC, a Fox Business, Forbes, like I mentioned, Bloomberg. I haven't been able to find that anywhere on those kinds of sites. So as you can see here, just pretty much that's already been talked about, 50-year agreement, not renewed. Yeah, nothing really new here. So, I mean, this is the Binance. This isn't, I don't think, the one that my best friend shared with me. The other one came out 2 days ago, but these are random people writing on Binance. So just because you see Binance, I mean, you'd have to investigate each one of these people. I mean, this person does have a lot of followers, only following 13 people. You know how much you want to trust this person. I'm going to leave that up to you. Taking a look here, this is Coinpedia. I can't say I've really read any articles from Coinpedia ever. But let's see what they have to say. Is this it? I don't know if you can click anywhere. This might be the whole article. So again, this just talks about the fact that you could use other currencies, including Bitcoin, to move petrol instead of just solely US dollars. Largely benefit Bitcoin. US inflation rates could rise. Okay. So again, not too much information there. Oops. This looks like the same one. Okay. How Bitcoin will benefit from the end of US Saudi petrodollar deal. Entire crypto industry stands to benefit. One thing, that person I just watched something about John Williams, his advertisement was about DeFi, and since most of you watching this are probably going to be Planet DeFi people, yeah, definitely DeFi is the future, not having to go through an intermediary such as a bank. I enjoyed that advertisement. I know that was a paid advertisement, but still, just seeing Anthony Pompliano involved with that DeFi company. The DeFi company I'm supporting, Planet Finance, you know that. Seismic shift, which is what you would think. But again, today, not much happened in the stock market, commodities, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, all the indicators that you would have thought would have moved based on this news, nothing happened. So is this buy the rumor, sell the news? Is it already priced in? Is this fake news? I don't know. Let's keep digging into this. Here we go. So this is new. This will force the US to print tons of new USD, which I guess backs the fact that inflation would go up, interest rates would go up, cost of living would go up. I mean, we're already printing trillions of dollars. This is one thing I did talk to my best friend about, and I mean, obviously he knows it, and all of you know it too, is, the fact that we're printing trillions of dollars, like, I don't even know what it is. Is it 1 trillion every 100 days now? I just want to do a quick search on that. Don't want to jump around too much, but how often is $1 trillion printed in US? I thought this would have come up quickly. I mean, this shows that 2.4 trillion was printed last year, so that should come out to that's not quite what I wanted. Yeah, so this is saying roughly every 150 days, $1 trillion is printed. Again, I don't know which source this is from. I don't know if this is accurate, but whether it's every 100 days, every 150 days, whatever, the fact that we're printing $1 trillion in a year is ridiculous, let alone every 100, 150 days. So, that's all we need is even more money printing. That's just going to make the situation in the US and around the world even worse and should only drive more people to Bitcoin. So from my perspective, giving 100% of my retirement is in Bitcoin and in crypto. This seems like positive news for me. I know for my best friend is, he's just weighing different decisions in terms of investments tied to the US dollar or hedges against the US dollar. And that's where, this news is essential for all of us to know. That's why this is going to be a very long video compared to my 5-10 minute videos lately for Planet, but I want to spend my time digging into this topic, just seeing what I can find. I'm sure I'm not going to find a definitive answer tonight, but let's just investigate this together. Do your own research, not financial advice. You all know that. Increased currency diversification globally. Bitcoin, this is a prime opportunity for Bitcoin to take advantage. And since Planet is tied to Bitcoin now with Gamma BTCB and Aqua BTCB, this is very positive news if you're into Planet. Feel like we're just reading the same kind of news all over again. Inflation hedge, investment shift, long-term appreciation, all the good things about Bitcoin. Okay. Start at the top here. This seems like an extremely long article. Is this all on why the petrodollar could end soon? Let's spend some time on this one, see if anything really jumps out. So again, the fact that payments are in US dollars gives the US dollar strength, tying US dollars to petro in Saudi Arabia. Which we know Saudi Arabia right now has unlimited unlimited money. Look at them building that, what is it called? That city that's miles and miles long. I should know what it's called. They advertised all the time. Neom, that's what it is. I mean, they got money to just throw at Neom. Live golf, soccer players, boxing events, or yeah, I think boxing events. Anyway, So again, in fact, it's all denominated in dollars. 1971, Richard Nixon. Again, this is really around the fact that the US wasn't tied to gold anymore, so you had to tie it to something. Well, tying it to oil kept the US dollar powerful. Otherwise, with the US dollar not being tied to gold, you're just based on the faith of the US government, which, if you're like me, you don't trust. Led to US economic dominance, also strengthening Saudi Arabia, loading up on US dollars. And again, this is where if Bitcoin could just take over the US dollar, it talks about the dollar's convenience. Well, I think Bitcoin is even more convenient. It's global, transactions are fast, minimal fees, secure, reliable. I think this is just the tie between Saudi Arabia directing Saudi petrodollars into US treasuries, then using the US treasuries to export or to import oil from Saudi Arabia. So it's just, again, money going back and forth, strengthening both countries. And again, this is where I was, everybody knows this, but talking to my best friend is, I understand why the US doesn't totally support Bitcoin, because it wants to hold on for dear life to the US dollar being the world's dominant currency. I would prefer if the US just realized the dollar is doomed to fail and spent more effort promoting Bitcoin and transferring from US dollars to Bitcoin, and the United States being a leader in Bitcoin, whereas opposed to just fighting it could lead to the United States' demise down the road. The countries in Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, South America, essentially everything but the United States is just going to make the United States weaker and the rest of the world stronger, which again makes me sad being an American, but at least I'm hedging myself personally. I'm going to be fine with my cryptocurrency investments down the road. In Russia, China, India moving away from the US dollar, North Korea, Iran. I mean, a lot of these countries are not best friends with the United States, but this is, again, watch my previous videos on Trump and Biden. This is where Biden has definitely hurt relationships with all of these countries even more, which I think necessitates the need to have some Bitcoin in your portfolio. Swift, there we go. The alternative, Ripple, I like that. Down to the Chinese yuan. I mean, we saw this just based on the recent war with Russia and Ukraine. Just reading it out loud, this is Europe's dependence on Russian oil and gas and other commodities, resources. Okay. Okay, makes sense. That's why things are changing. Essentially, Saudi Arabia, whether they're siding with the United States, have ulterior motives, facilitating an arms deal with China. I mean, who knows what Saudi Arabia's planning? It's Phil Mickelson. They are scary MFers. But he ended up joining Live Golf and got his instant, what, $200 million? Smart move. Okay. This last part's very interesting. So the impact on the United States might be less severe due to its domestic focused economy and potential self-sufficiency in raw materials. However, the decline of the petrodollar could still result in increased inflation and interest rates. So, I mean, maybe a reason that the stock market and other things didn't just explode today or recently based on this news, other than being priced in, is that, yeah, the United States has its own oil. We are shifting toward alternative energy such as solar, wind, whatever power, hydro, self-sufficiency and other raw materials. Of course, one thing we're really working on in the United States is becoming self-reliant on microprocessors. Right now, our huge tie to Taiwan is a huge problem globally. So like this says, the United States can withstand this to an extent, but between printing more money and not being 100% self-sustainable as a country, no country is 100% self-sustainable. I mean, we are a global community. We have to rely on other countries for something. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. Again, I think this is good for the world. Of course, shifting from the petrodollar to Bitcoin possibly being the global currency to do all kinds of transactions. It's not just used for criminal activities. I do that tongue in cheek. You know that if you have any education with crypto, that's just, one of the things that the ignorant people talk about, only used for money laundering, all the illegal activities. But if we can just make it globally accepted, which we've come a long way in 14, 15 years, XRP, that's good. This is definitely a positive move for the world, but we still, living in the United States, I want to know how this affects the US dollar. And I'm just very glad that the majority of my investments, all my retirement, is not tied to the US dollar. So I'm going to be okay. So I don't know if we're going to see anything new here. Probably not. This is Forbes. I guess that's the reason I did pull this up. So we did actually have a Forbes article from, geez, over a year ago. Well, let's see what their opinion was over a year ago. So again, countries have already been essentially working around the US dollar, doing deals in their own currency or other currencies to try to get around the power of the United States and the US dollar. And again, this is where I was happy with Trump's relationship with Putin, whether you like that or not, is that kept us from having to deal with the situation we're in now, where, once Biden took office as president, is he was totally anti-Russia, totally anti-Putin, and essentially forced them into war with the Ukraine, which has accelerated. The war is absolutely horrible. Nobody wants war, but if you're going to take any good out of this, it's that it is accelerating Bitcoin and its progression toward being the next world dominant currency. So again, it's sad that the war between Russia and Ukraine has had to happen, but if that accelerates the adoption of Bitcoin, you can look at that as a very big positive. And this is with the collapse of the petrodollar. So the US dollar losing ground, not losing dominance, hanging on for dear life. But is it really sustainable to be printing trillions of dollars every year? I think not. US pulling back, pullback of the petrodollar. Okay. And a lot has happened since this article was written over a year ago. I'm not sure we're going to get any more out of this one. This is an audio thing. I don't feel like playing that now. Okay. So, is there anything else we want to research? So I already opened this one up. Weaken the dollar. Not a mortal blow to the dollar. The whole geopolitical implications, the world's a mess right now. And this is saying, I mean, this is still crypto news, not a super popular website, but the fact that Google's showing this, there has to be some legitimacy to this, that it did end on June 9th, 2024. Why don't we go to Twitter? Okay, so this is from David Curtin, who I did look at earlier, has a lot of views. Let's see that, but I didn't read the comments on this earlier.
I am focused very much on the UK general election because the Heritage Party are standing 41 candidates in the elections which are taking place on the 4th of July. But I'm just going to take a little aside this morning to talk about something else which is happening in the world, which has global ramifications that is not being
Yeah, nobody's really disputing this is fake news. Okay. This is, I wanted to see if this is the real Vivek. It says Vivek for real. And by Vivek, I meant Ramaswamy. I'm not sure, and we are running out of time for this video, so I'll start wrapping it up eventually in the next 10 minutes. Okay. I mean, it is huge. Again, whether it has a huge economic impact immediately, apparently not, but this is still immense news, given that we've been under the petrodollar over the past 50 years. And obviously it hasn't happened overnight. We've been shifting. It's not like it just suddenly stopped and now people are panicking. As I mentioned, other countries have been trying to use their own currency, Bitcoin, just other currencies than the US dollar. This is just really accelerating the movement now, making it more official. Now you know why gold is moving. Now you know why Bitcoin is moving. Just not today, but we are near all-time highs at 68,400. So, I mean, yeah, if you just look at today, we actually just had a recent dip, go figure. But I mean, over the past 7 days, yes, we are down from when we were nice holding above 70,000. But again, look at the past month, we're up pretty high. Look at the past year, up very, very high, 165%. So I don't know if I just need to keep rambling on. I think I can stop for now. So I guess just giving you my final thoughts. This may not help you, best friend from kindergarten, or anybody else. This is just me trying to educate myself and educate the rest of you watching my videos. If you've enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment on YouTube, Twitter, and elsewhere. It helps me out, which helps Planet out. Planet, if you're new to Planet Finance, an amazing DeFi project with real sustainable high APYs. I've been doing it since 2021, and I can verify it's a legitimate project, which has survived the worst of times. And now with this news with the petrodollar, could be ready to experience its own bull run. I can't wait. So, I mean, I guess from my takeaway, the way I feel is I'm not feeling any urgency to get out of the US dollar, but we've known this since the pandemic, and just printing unlimited money and having super inflation that I've never seen during my lifetime. I don't think we've had inflation like this since the 1970s. Is, you know, I remember when you could get a house mortgage for like 1% or less. Now we're looking at what, 7%, 8%. So, you know, it's not like this has just happened overnight. As I mentioned, this has been a long time coming. So I don't think this news, it's almost like when the Bitcoin halving occurs, people know it's happening and kind of price it in, but we know it's going to lead to Bitcoin growing into the future. Same thing with this decline of the petrodollar, like with it ending June 9th. People knew it was going to happen, knew it was going to expire June 9th, wasn't renewed, so people priced it in. But this is still going to lead to changes down the road. It's not like now it's over. No, I mean, you still probably want to get out of the US dollar and get into non-US dollar investments such as Bitcoin, not financial advice, to your own research. So that's my takeaway is, you know, if you're investing in real estate in the United States tied to the US dollar, makes it a riskier investment. If you're investing in commodities or cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, gold, I think that's an excellent hedge against inflation. If you're talking about the stock market, obviously, if you're talking about a company like MicroStrategy essentially follows Bitcoin. But if you're talking about a company with just a ton of ties to the US dollar, that would scare me a little bit. Those are my thoughts. Again, nothing definitive. I just wanted to talk about this for a little over 30 minutes. Hopefully you get some value out of this. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video, maybe not, but I at least wanted to get my thoughts down tonight, and we'll go from there. God bless, my friends. Until next time, take care.